What's up guys, Shane with Fugatech 3D printing. I've got mail and all kinds of stuff around me, must be time for a vlog. Welcome back guys. So like I said, it's time to do another vlog. I know it's been a little while since I've done one. I've decided I'm going to do these not quite as frequently, probably, if every week if I have content to put out, but maybe every other week. Just because, again, sometimes I don't get a lot of things in the mail or there's not enough going on. Patreons aren't asking a lot of questions. It really just depends on, what's going on in my life. So, let's dive in. Very first thing we're going to talk about is some mail. Now, with the HyperCube and those 10mm rods, I'm not sure. I did find a source for some, so I did eventually finally buy some from AliExpress. They were actually really good price. They weren't there before, but now they randomly showed up. They also have carbon fiber rods, which Tech2C had just talked about in one of his recent videos, which I thought was really cool. So I ordered some of those as well to try out and see how they would go with my build. I still haven't decided on the actual build size, but I'm just getting ready to order stuff. Also with that, Folgertech finally just got in their aluminum extrusion. If you're looking for aluminum extrusion, the 2020 style or various other sizes they carry, they have the cheapest ones out there, and their shipping is not horrible. I'm gonna buy 10 sticks. It's $4.50 a piece, not even $5 for a meter stick, which is, that's an awesome price. You look anywhere, you're not gonna come close to that. Usually like $7, $8 per meter. It's almost half that from Folgertech because John buys in such big bulk. It's just great. So I'm gonna order like 10 sticks of that. So I have it here. I have room to muck up if I muck up or not. So, but again, all that stuff's coming, and that'll be project for the next probably 2 months or so. Okay, into the boxes. This one, I already opened these up. We'll cut them open at least because I was super excited what they were. This is the February Geek Box, 3D Geek Box from Maker Geeks. Let's see what came in this one. A little bit of foam. Okay, and here's the paperwork. So they send you this nice big sheet, and there are stickers and a tool. So they talk about a tool that they send in every one of their sheets. Oh, there's some kind of other thing in here too. All right, hang on. All right, so they got a sticker. It's got a little basketball on it. It's pretty cool. And again, we have this. We have some plastic sheets here. And this tool, this is a brass brush. I use a lot of these for cleaning guns. That's probably what this is. But this will be for cleaning your hob gear, I think. We'll see what he says in here. And it's for March Madness basketball. So if you're American, basketball's on every day. You're probably watching it. So there's the two type. It's a brass nozzle cleaning brush. Great way to clean the black gunk off your nozzle. Just bring the hot end up to temperature and lightly brush your nozzle and bring back that fresh new look. Extends the life of nozzles as well. Okay, that's cool. And then this is sheet of PI bed tape. Oh, it's one sheet. Oh, okay. So you probably can't tell. It's one sheet, but the one is a little bit smaller to make it adhesive. This is really, really thin stuff. Let's read about it. So PEI is some pretty amazing stuff, and nearly all 3D filament from ABS to PLA to Makerflex, nylon, and more stick to PEI tape. One sheet lasts you hundreds and hundreds of prints as well. So just remove the self-stick backing and apply to your bare 3D printer bed and enjoy some flawless first layer prints. Well, this is a pretty small sheet. Small being it's 8x11. So it's not quite big enough for the FT5, and I don't have a whole lot of different build plates for the Geeetech. So maybe I will go ahead and get another piece of glass and put this on that. Give that a shot. Alright, so saying in here we've got Blue Navy and Maker Series PLA. That's PLA Blue Navy and PLA Gleaming White. Wow. Yep, that is definitely white. Spool's a little bit loose, if you can hear that. That's interesting. Oh, no, that's just the silicone packet. I thought the actual wind was loose. That's how it sounded at first. Get this out of the way. And here's the Blue Navy, which is super dark navy blue. So, I only had like one person reach out to me last time saying they were interested in seeing prints with these and reviewing each of these filaments. So if you guys are interested in stuff like that, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. Do you want to see a review just on each color that I get or each type of filament that I get from Maker Geeks? A lot of people complain that some of their filament is out of spec. I've had some in spec. I've had a lot of it work in spec for me, and I've had some out of spec. and they're actually sending me another roll because it was out of spec. And they do that. You know, it's great on them for doing that. And I always say, hey, if you have a problem with filament, contact the manufacturer and see what they say. They might send you a new spool. That's been my case for every company that I've had an issue with so far. So I highly recommend you do that if you're having issues. Now, one guy's like, oh, I'm just going to throw this away, blah. And I'm like, dude, write them back. Say, hey, this is crap. Send me a new spool, and they will. If it's crap again, okay, maybe it's just bad filament. Otherwise, again, there's so many people out there that have good results with MakerGeek's filament. So I think you should probably reach out to them and get a new spool. So this box here is pretty special. This is from Folger Technologies LLC. So Folgertech, the guys that make the Folgertech FT5, the FT 2020, i3. A lot of you guys have seen those printers or even own them. So John hit me up and said, hey Shane, there's some new things I want you to try out. So I'm going to send you a box. Let's see what he sent. First off, I will say this was fantastically packaged. They use this type of brown packing tape, which is much nicer than that like clear crap that people put on there. Packing inside very well. Lots and lots of paper in there so nothing moves. Okay, and the first thing we're going to see in here is a Folger Technologies spool of filament. It's a generic box, just says Folger Technologies. It was nice he has his own box. So that's, you know, that's a nice appeal factor right there that your name is on the box. And I'm pretty sure this is a PLA. Yep, here it is, Folger Technologies PLA 1.75mm green. Now, as you see, this is very different from other Folgertech spools. So Folgertech went ahead and they got a new filament supplier. So they went to this, which resembles Esun, Hatchbox, the Endament, I forget. I ordered some other filament a while back. Enabled, that's it, Enabled PLA. This spool looks really similar to that. So I would like to ask John where he's sourcing from now, because I'd like to know to tell people, hey, he's getting it from these places. But this is the old style spool, which was horrendous. It's a short, fat spool, and it's so much thicker. I mean, look here, the difference. You know, it is a good almost inch wider. So this actually doesn't fit on any spool holder I have. I have to use, well, actually, I do have one spool holder for 2020 extrusion that this does fit on, but I had to remount that because I'm not using it anymore, and I had to remount it just to mount this. This is their ABS I'm trying out here soon. Their old ABS. I bought it when I bought the FT5. I just haven't used it yet. Again, so this is their green. I will be doing a review on this to see how much it has improved over what the old stuff they have, which I had a lot of issues with. And I'll have to look online, but I'm pretty sure he was able to keep the price pretty doggone low. So if this ends up being a good filament, this might be the go-to filament if you want some cheap, easy stuff to print with. It might not be the highest quality, but if you need some cheap filament to print like really, really big with, and you're gonna model it, you're gonna sand it down, putty it, paint it, this might actually be what you're gonna be looking for. Especially guys that do like BB-8s and R2s, those take a lot of filament. So we'll see this review later. All right, what else in the box? Oh yes, this little envelope here. So this is some corner brackets for 2020 extrusion, and this slides down into, sadly I don't have a spare piece to show you guys, but this actually slides into the slots, and this is for the very top corners of the printer. So how it would sit down in there, each piece would go onto it, and this is to help bolster that corner, the rigidness, I don't know if that's a word, but the rigidity, yeah, the rigidity of the corners for the top. He sent me 4 here, so I'll probably try these out eventually. On that, it does raise up all of your top bars, 5 millimeters or so. Not a big deal, but just something to be aware of when you do install these. And we'll see if it makes any improvement. But I will say, you don't have to use these on the FT5. If you're building a printer, like I'm building the HyperCube, I may end up trying these in there to just make my corners a little more rigid, because I'm going to be using those in-corner L brackets. I'm not using Exney exterior on the face style brackets. I'm actually using in the corner ones. Those are 2820s that I'll be using. These might help a little bit with the top of the frame just to make sure it stays nice and square and solid. And last thing in the box, looks like an envelope, which I need to cut open with a knife somewhere. This is thick too, jeez Louise. What do we got in here? Oh, we've got a whole bunch. So we've got 4 of the Folgertech. This is almost like their own build tack. It's on 3M adhesive, which is really nice to see. That's high quality if you're using 3M. A lot of companies won't use that because it's expensive. but that's actually really nice to see. So 4 sheets of this, that's pretty awesome. I will be installing this on an FT5 build plate, which I happen to have one right over here. So this is one of my glass tiles that I use, mirror tiles I should say. One of the mirror tiles that I use, and this fits over it, just inside of it. You can see that it's just shy of the full size, because it's 300 millimeters is not quite 12 inches, and these are 12-inch tiles. So like I said, we'll install that on there, and this will be another build surface for me to test out. This is much more rough than I was expecting. I thought it would be much more smoother, like Buildtack or the Print and Z plate that I have, or the Z Skin is another one I think I have over there somewhere. But anyways, this will be another one to test out. So eventually, I'm gonna put a big video out with all these different build plates that I've gotten. A lot of companies have sent them to me, like Folgertech, Buildtack, Print and Z, PrintBite I bought, PEI I bought myself. So those, I mean, again, all those will be included, but I kind of want to put them together like, okay, what's the best surface to use? Or is there a best surface? Or is it just how you print? Everyone prints differently, different filaments on different build surfaces, like using hairspray. Hairspray I personally hate because it's so messy, so I don't use that. But anyways, it'll be something for me to test out, and this is great. So John, thank you very much for sending me this stuff. I appreciate it. I will put it through its paces and see how it stands up against the other competitors. Okay, so mail is done. See, I still have a couple other things here to look at. This was a twist vase, so that's kind of the new fad, I guess. Again, I really don't like to do fads, but I was intrigued at how he was accomplishing, I forget the guy's name, but I'll put a link down below to his makes, and it's his satisfying twist container style deal. Basically, you put the two, you print these both, and it should go down if your tolerances are right on your printer and your, which, I mean, I think my printer's pretty spot on, but it doesn't go as it should. Say I'm not sure, but he says you don't have to size these differently. It almost feels like I should make this outer one 101% and keep this one at 100% so that it slides on there better. He didn't say that he's oversizing any of his. He said you should just be able to print it just like it is. Sorry, that might have been loud. And they print just like this. So here's the openings, here's the bottoms. You print them both just like that. And once you set this on there, it should go down. But if you add a little bit of weight, it eventually goes down by itself. Or you add a lot of weight, and does like that. So, fun little print. Interesting if you guys want to print one, link down below. Again, it didn't work out for me as well as I wanted it to. I might try it again later, but maybe not. Although, I will say, my kids love this, and my wife said she would like me to print several of these small for airplane toys. We travel around the world a lot. Long flights with 3 kids can be pretty daunting. So I think printing a few of these, since they liked it so much, might be cool. And he did actually put out fidgets recently. So one of those might be cool as well, my kids. They like playing with random things, so it could be something. If it keeps them entertained for 5 minutes or a half an hour, hey, that's a half an hour. They're not screaming at me for food or sleep or whatever else. Okay, this is a print. Well, as you see, it's a hollow cube. This is a 80mm cube. I just took the 40 and scaled up 200%. No tops, no bottoms, one perimeter on vase mode with this, and it turned out really, really well. And the reason why it turned out so well is I went ahead and finally drilled out the top of my Geeetech where the threaded rod, yeah, so the hole in the top of the bracket that holds the threaded rod, I'll send you guys a little picture, I'll b-roll this, where that is, I went ahead and drilled that out. So I finally got my drill press and my chop saw, my miter saw, and my jigsaw all set up in another area of the basement. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So I got out the vise, everything, set it all up, drilled it out, and it took a ton of the wobble out. Even though I've done all these mods to try and get the wobble fully out, you really need to do like all of these mods to get that thing printing as well as it can. It's very time consuming, but it is beneficial to me simply because I learn a ton by trying to figure out how to do this, seeing what other people are doing, and doing it for yourself. It is not the greatest printer, I'll tell you that right now. I would have picked something else. Hindsight being 2020, I would have bought a different printer. Probably would have bought the Robo 3D, but it was so expensive compared to what the i3 was, the Geeetech i3. But anyways, I've learned a lot from it. It's been a great experience. I think that's why I was able to learn things so fast, simply because I had to get this thing working right. So this came out really nice. I mean, almost baby smooth at 0.2 layer height in vase mode, printing it at 60mm a second. I turned off all of the things to slow it down in Simplify 3D and just let it rip it out. And it came out really, really nice. So I'm very happy with this. A little more tweaking to do on it. A couple little not ribs, but almost under extrusion parts. So I need to fix a few little things in there. But we're getting really close to having this thing absolutely perfect. Also in front of me here, you see a lot of printed parts. So this is for something called the FrankenShuttle that a guy named Jeremy has designed for the Folgertech FT5. Now, I'll put a link down below to his Google Drive. You have to request access to get it, so he's probably going to hate me because he's going to get 500 emails of people requesting to see this design. But if you're in the Folgertech group, you've seen pictures of it there, and it's actually a very, very cool thing to increase your Z height in the FT5. So it is a complete X-axis carriage. So the X-axis carriage is what holds your hot end, your extruder, the motor, all of that is housed on there, and it's very, very heavy. With the melamine, it's even heavier because it's wood. Well, this plastic weighs basically nothing, and only a few grams. So replacing it with this, you can get much more faster and smoother movements with your X carriage because it's not limited by the weight. Now, I see here I have this smaller one prepped with the BL Touch. I am going to give this thing another shot. I feel like maybe I shorthanded it. I am going to try it again with this new setup, but I have it on this real short piece because I have some short body 0.9 stepper motors coming. They're 400, they're double geared basically, so they're 400 steps versus 200 steps, which is a standard NEMA 17. I've never used them before, so I'm still learning about having that small pancake stepper. It should fit in here. I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, I did print out a larger one for the full size NEMA 17 motor. And there's two different kinds here, so there's just these here, so short and a big. And these are just the actual bodies. These hook up with the top and bottom piece with the, where's the back piece at? Here's the back piece. It all hooks together just like that. But a unique thing that Jeremy has done is created this. This is a universal bracket. And here is the, where's the short one? Here's the short one that I have. It just slides in like so. And then these two turns here turn and lock it in place. So that is in there solid. It's not going anywhere. It's keyed here on the side, so it has to go in there. It can't go up or down. And these pinch it in. These two little turns, you turn those in, and that locks it down. It's not going anywhere. I'm using lock nuts on these to make sure that they're not loosening up at all on me. Okay, so these were printed all in MakerGeek's HD Smoke PET G. I wanted to print them in PET G simply because they could withstand heat. There's a little more flex to them than you would have with PLA, but I feel like they'll be much stronger once you bind all these pieces together. And it'll be cool. And here is the cooling fan and the duct that this hooks into like so. Whoops. How do we do this here? And it cracked. But a little bit of glue will be fine with that. So that hooks onto there. It goes onto the back here like so. So it'll be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. And this is for the E3D V6. There's other versions in there that he has in his Google Drive, so go ahead and check all that out. But I'm pretty excited to try this out. I think it'll do well. I'm hoping it does well, because that's what I'm going to switch out to on the FT5 for now until I find something better. But this will be a nice little setup. And again, with the, if you use this this quick plate, he also has things for like the Chimera, the E3D Chimera. So if you want to do the dual color with the dual nozzle E3D stuff, you can do that. So it's very cool to be able to just, unlatch these, pop it out a little bit, and it just comes right off. So if you have other setups all together, all you have to do is disconnect the BL Touch, the fan, and your, all of your quick disconnects, disconnect all that, pull this off, put something else on, connect it all up. So, it works out well. I hope it will. A lot of people use it. I think it'll be a very interesting thing to look into. So it'll be, a fun little project. I will do a video on me installing this. I do have some time lapses of me printing these. I printed them nice and slow. It took my time. Just 50mm a second, not terribly slow, but slow enough. And I'll do a video of all this, installing it. So if you guys want to check this out, the link's down below. Videos to come probably in a few weeks. I'm waiting for the stepper motor to come in from, actually it was a US seller, so it should be here like next week hopefully. Either way, coming up soon, you'll see a video with this. Okay, so Patreon questions. As I said, I put out a feeler on my Patreon to all my patrons saying, hey, anything you guys want me to cover? I got a couple of things. So the first one is from Tyler, and he said, I'm interested in what your thoughts on the Titan Aero. Is it worthwhile upgrade from the Titan and V6 combo? like we currently have. So he has one the same as I do. And Tyler is a brand new Patreon to mine. He became Patreon because of my Simplify 3D settings for the Folgertech FT5. I'll link it up here for you guys. And he said, hey, I was getting ready to throw out this printer basically and just pitch the software until I saw your video, and now I'm getting beautiful prints. So Tyler, I am so glad that that video helped you out. That is the whole reason why I'm doing this, is to help people out, because I think Simplify 3D is a super powerful program. I don't even fully understand it, but from what I have done and the prints I'm getting, again, this is all on the FT5, full build plate, 2 sets, 200 by 200 millimeters, basically full of print. To get all of this done, I was able to do it in one shot, no redos, anything like that, no curling, no peeling, anything like that. So you can get it to work if you put the time in and you configure it properly, and you can get amazing results. So I'm glad it helped you. Now, I think the Aero is a very good step in the right direction. So you can gain back a lot of that Z height that you lose when you switch to an E3D Titan plus V6 combo, especially when you do the Volcano. Now I don't know, I can't see why you couldn't, but I don't know, they don't never show any pictures of the Aero using the Volcano hot end. So that uses a different heat block, much longer, because the nozzle is also much longer. It has a longer melt area so that the filament is fully melted by the time it gets extruded. That's how you can get faster prints using the Volcano nozzle. The V6 is just nice because it's all metal. I think it melts faster than a regular standard MK8 or MK9 setup, but that's just, you know, what I've seen from what I printed before when I had the stock FT5 and when I switched to the E3D setup. I feel like I could print much faster with the E3D setup and obviously with the Titan. So if you like, even with an i3, if you want to keep a lot of your build height because you upgraded to an E3D, like on my Geeetech, I lost 20 millimeters of build height. With the Folgertech, I lost at least 20 or 30 millimeters of my build height. Doing that, you gain back and actually probably even gain more Z height, simply because that is so doggone stubby. Now, having not seen any of the thermal results, I'm not sure that the front plate on the Titan will have the same thermal displacement as the actual heat break has from the V6, because the V6 has been engineered several times over. They've held through the different versions that they've had, V5, now V6, and that is proven to do extremely well. Now, not having seen any results with the Aero yet, I don't know. So I would love to get one. Obviously, I would love to test one out. I do know a couple people that have gotten them. They got them when they were at the Midwest Rep Rap Festival. So that's cool. Hopefully see some cool videos about that. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's an extremely cool product, and I can't wait to see some stats on it and what people are doing with it. So I hope that answers your question there for you. So Shay asked me, any plans on getting into dual extrusion with an E3D Chimera or Cyclops possibly? Currently no, because those hot ends are extremely expensive. Obviously I have an E3D V6, I know, a legit one, so that was expensive. I'm not sure getting into that yet. If I was to get another printer to do dual extrusion with, so obviously I have the Cube 3, which is now working, and that does dual extrusion. I need to play with it and figure out dual extrusion actually with that printer alone. But that's locked down to just the Cube 3 format print. You can't use you can't use any G code. So if I had another printer that I could do dual extrusion with, I absolutely would. Like if I got another FT5, poke. Well, that stopped recording. So the last, however minutes I was chatting along, none of it recorded. So finish up with this topic. If I had another FT5, yes, I would do dual extrusion. If you guys want to see that, let me know down in the comments. The more that you guys want to see with the FT5, the more chances I might be able to get one. So please leave comments down below if you want to see stuff like that. I've been asked for doing wiring videos and all kinds of things on that, and I can't do any of that because my printer's already wired. I'm already doing mods to this one. I need another one to start fresh to show you guys an actual new build video with the current hardware, because mine's a V2. They're on version 4 now. So what I have is a lot different than what you guys are getting now. I tried my best to answer your questions, but if I had a newer one, it would be easier to do so. So you guys know who to talk to about that. And lastly, I'm not going to go over it all over again because, again, it stopped recording. This doggone camera, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, you'll notice there's a lot different behind me. The Delta is gone, the Geeetech is gone, and things are a little different on the desk. Not a whole lot, but enough. And they are now over here. I've set up a new area next to the FT5. So I'm trying to clear off my desktop to have more space. I have a dual monitor mount down here that I pulled out. I used to use it on this desk when it was my gaming desk at my last place, but it doesn't work on the desk that I have upstairs now, and this is my nice little YouTube desk. I'm gonna mount that to this tabletop, or my workbench here, and I'm gonna get 2 new monitors. I have some Asus 24s upstairs, which I love, and they're only 125 bucks. So I'm gonna pick up 2 more of those to put here. I already bought, so it's in shipping, it's on its way here. I picked up a Thermaltake Core P3 case. It's the mid-tower of Thermaltake's wall mount cases. I'm not a huge fan of Thermaltake, but this case looks amazing. I'm gonna do a full video on the build. It's gonna be fully water cooled and look all kinds of awesome, RGB all over it. We all need more RGB in our life. And that's gonna be mounted to the wall. That'll look really nice and classy. And again, that pulls it up off my workspace. It'll give me more computing power. This old i7 laptop I got in like 2009 or 2010. It's just not cutting it anymore. It's overheating with just simple having, just a few, 10 or 20 tabs open in Chrome. Chrome's a memory hog, I know. But I mean, it's an i7 with an SSD with 16 gigs of RAM. It's just bogging down. I think the fan is going in it too. It's getting super hot. But anyways, I'm just gonna get rid of it finally and build this new computer. It'll be much faster, much better, dedicated GPU and all that jazz. And I'll be able to do a lot more things with it. It'll look more classy up on my desk. Wireless keyboard and mouse to free up more of the desk space. I think it's going to look amazing. And I've picked up a lot of my my little drawers over here. I'm picking those up off the desktop again, give me a little bit more space. So it's only a couple inches, but it's more space. It's an extra 8 inches deep that I have now, which is great stuff. And it gives me more space for different projects that I'm working on. I can kind of make each of them their own space. And again, I moved my miter saw, the drill press, and the jigsaw are now all over there, out of the way in their own area, so I can get that messy over there and sweep it up. The wife won't yell at me. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I mean, it's been a busy 2 weeks for me. I finished a whole bunch of videos. You guys are seeing videos come out now frequently with a lot of different reviews or things I'm working on. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope I'm putting out things that you guys want to see. If there's something you want to see, please by all means, hit me up in my YouTube comments. If you're a Patreon, those take priority of anything else. So please send me a message on Patreon if you're a patron. If you're not, you should be one. I don't know why you're not, but it's good fun. I enjoy doing this. And again, I will always answer every comment, positive or negative, on my channel. Don't worry, I'm not big enough to have to worry about having too many comments. Although getting several, per day does take time, especially if I don't answer right away. They 10, 20, 30 have stacked up on me already once before. Try not to let that happen. So I appreciate everyone commenting and things like that. Keep it up. Keep me engaged. And I want to make sure you guys stay engaged on my channel as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, thumbs down. You know what to do. Leave me a comment. Tell me why I screwed it up. And we'll go from there. You guys want to support the channel? Lots of ways to do it. Best way, subscribe down below. If you want to help me out financially, there's a Patreon link down here. Donate me $1 more. I greatly appreciate it. A free way to do a lot of stuff for me is down below. There's some affiliate links that you can use. Update your bookmarks, do your shopping. Amazon's the biggest one, obviously. eBay's big, AliExpress, Banggood, things like that. Down below, check all those out. Anything I've talked about in this video will be down below as well. Some videos over here for you guys to check out. Other things that I've been working on, other videos you haven't seen them yet. So please enjoy all that. Until next time, happy printing.